PayPal, and I bought right at what I want to see is a weekly close above. I do love me some Rocket Lab, and I love it even more and I'm convinced that it's going to go down to its... Hey guys, welcome back to Powers Capital. If you haven't been here yet, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell. Unless you've been hiding under a rock, you know that the market is starting to bleed like a stuck pig. I have compiled a shopping list of 9 stocks that I'm ready to buy when I'm ready to buy them. Let's get into it. You might have seen this short in the top right corner of your screen where I said I buy when there's blood in the streets. At the time I was talking about crypto. The fear and greed was at 11. The fear and greed has since gone down to 5 or something insane like that. This is getting to be a similar situation with a few stocks that I've already pulled the trigger on. We're going to talk about those too. But here are some where I either sold too early or missed the boat, and I've got levels where I'm willing to get back in. Now here's the first one I pulled the trigger on, PayPal, and I bought right at 40 bucks on the nose because I believe it's way too beaten down. This company is not going to go tits up. There's enough upside long term, and of course, since I bought, I was getting frustrated for a while because it wasn't really moving, but now yesterday and today there's been whispers or chatter of an acquisition by Stripe. As you can see here, it's trading in kind of a downward parallel channel. So what we would want to happen here is for it to break out of that and then kind of come back. And probably, honestly, if it breaks out of there, I'm going to look for a hit of, yep, that's how I got that. Right around here, probably if I do the monthly, I'm going to like what I see a little bit more as far as wicks. And I don't have actual candles chopping through this thing. Yeah, look, you see? So that one's a wick down there on the monthly. And that's how I got this level, because you've got a touch there, and then you got a wick through there, and then you broke down. So what you want to see is get up out of that parallel channel, ding, hit this trend line again, and that's when I'm getting out, because we might see more downside, especially if you get a broader hit to the market. PayPal is going to go right down with it. So number 2 that I bought is Team, which is Atlassian Corporation at 70. What I want to see is a weekly close above 75, and that would give us a bottoming tail because the little body would be up here. All this would be wick. It'd be gone. And this is the first time in 2,653 days, which is a little over 7 years, since price has been down here. Where I come from, if the company's not going tits up, that's a buying opportunity. So now we can move along. I'd like to see it up around here. I know that's super optimistic. Right now I'm looking for the 100 to 115 range for that. And I will probably be getting out, or at least taking some profit at that point. It kind of depends on how the chart looks when it gets there, because there are some lower levels. You could definitely see, 50, 35 on these. If this gets a bounce and then it starts heading back down pretty quick and the bottom falls out, then it's going to be one of those situations where I just kind of wait and see. Here we go. ASTS. Now, as you can see, I was charting this one way back in the day. I actually did buy it back there. I can post the screenshot. I'll go back and find it. I did buy it. I will post it on X or the YouTube post or something. I don't know. But I'm sick about selling it because, boy, would my portfolio look different if I'd have hung on to this thing even to $100 and said, I think I sold it up here around 20. Anyway, I would like to see ASTS at $60. I'd get it there. I think we might see it sooner than later. You don't know if it's going to try to put in a head and shoulders here, which it would probably need to come a little lower for. You'd want to see it down there and then put in the shoulder. But if you were to connect these points, you end up there. And then if you pull a fib from here to here, this is the 618. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick, actually. Boop, 618, and boop. There's, oh, you know what? Catch me lying. Here you go. It's this. It was these two. So there's where I get that. And head and shoulders wouldn't shock me at all. And then you probably want to see this come up, do something like that. And then, bam. And then once it triggers, and then you'd see a level down to there, which is 1761. Okay, I don't know why it just looks wrong. That's probably how I got this bubble. No, it's not. It's this up here. So I'd take the tops of all these, something along those lines. I mean, you can call that a range. Draw you a little rectangle there, and actually lines up with this. Interesting. So you could call this a range. If it puts in a head and shoulders, maybe it does. Either or, I would take it. I would really like to have it here for a bounce, just like I'm doing with Coinbase. That is in that video up there. And right shoulder, trigger. And then if I see this thing down sub 20, I am jumping on it like a pack of wild dogs on a three-legged rabbit. I'll tell you what. Next, circle. This one hurts me, y'all. So as I explained in that video, y'all got enough tabs open yet? This was supposed to IPO around 31, went nuts on the Robinhood pre-IPO thing, sniffed 300, so it got somewhere around here, right there, and I bought it, went down a little bit, then I got up, and I think I watched it put in like a textbook head and shoulders, and I just didn't want to believe that it was happening because I hate money and I just want to flush as much of it down the toilet as possible whenever I get a chance. That head and shoulders played out, and I was like, okay, head and shoulders, no big deal, because if the neckline triggers, look, you go to the neckline, then you take your thing down here from where it drops, and that only takes it to $84. And now I'm so convinced that we're not coming back for a while that I am just gonna watch this thing. I've been completely out of the position since like around here somewhere. Again, I'll post the screenshot. I need to make a list of all these screenshots I'm gonna post. But I sold there, and I'm basically just sitting on the sidelines waiting, and I'm convinced that it's going to go down to its initial IPO price. When it does, I'll jump on that one. This is a stock I am a huge long-term believer in. If y'all don't know what it is, I talk about it in that video. Well, I'm not going to link it again, but, you know, circle. It's in there. Just scroll down. Go to my page. It's in there. You'll find it. I believe in you. Next, and by the way, April 13th is my birthday, which, funnily enough, is when this circle landed on, right there. I've got some other theories about things that have happened on my birthday and could happen on my birthday this year, and I'm going to unpack those probably in a different video. Next, FIG. This one I am already starting to like. I'm kind of hoping it goes down to 20 again so I can buy more. I did buy some down there the last time it went down. So this one's starting to show me some life. It's actually trending upward. It wouldn't shock me if it came down and pierced 20 again. Look at that. That was a lot of selling volume that day. And it survived. So that's a pretty good sign. Look, this thing has just been getting wrecked. And again, I've got another video. It's the same one where I talk about the Coinbase head and shoulders, and it's got FIG in there. And I think I think FIG's a 5X from here, especially from $20. Which, I mean, look at that. It's at 27 right now. Let's call it 30. So 150 would be a 5-bagger. 150. And there's your 5-bagger right there. The thumbnail said, is FIG still a 5X? Yes. I believe it is. I will continue buying it. So, I mean, where is this going this week? Hell if I know. If it comes down to 20, I'll buy it. If it doesn't, I'll hang on to what I got and ride this thing till the wheels fall off. You know, obviously I'll keep looking at the charts every day or two, and we'll go from there. Next one. This one's right up there with ASTS. People just loving it, and I am an early buyer of this one too. Way back. Let me see when this trend line was made. December 13th, 2023. So that's when I bought it. I can go back, dig, and find that one too. I sold it around here somewhere. I'm sick about that, and I want it to come back down again. This is another one. We could, I don't know if this level's going to hold right here. I mean, we could really have a head and shoulders on our hands here too. Nope. No, I don't know. It'd have to be like a kind of a janky Head and Shoulders, but I don't know. Anyway, I think reversion to the mean here probably. Take that in there. Take that. That's how you get these. Boom. I'm a buyer at 53. I am an even bigger buyer if this can get down to this range. And notice I say range because I want to play this top and this bottom. And you will notice that they do not touch one line. So what I'll do is do that, and then I'll do that, and then I'll drag. And that's how I got that one. I do these bubbles, and I basically delete everything else, and I kind of have to work backwards from the bubbles. I reverse engineer. I just like the bubbles because they look clean, and then I can put all the other stuff on there as I'm going along. But Rocket Lab, I love this stock long term. It's one of those, in 2023, it was one of those, like the next hot thing, and I bought it at 3 something, and I sold everything. I like 5x'd it, and I sold, and I was like, yeah, 5x. And then all these MFs ripped to like 100. I'm still healing from it, y'all. I'm still healing, okay? It's a long road. Anyway, on that note, I do love me some Rocket Lab, and I love it even more at these prices here and here. Next one, this is one I'm currently holding very little of still. I sold most of it, but I rode this thing all the way up too, and I'm starting to get interested again. It is SOUN. I bought it down here, and I think I sold it around here. And again, I thought I was like a psychic genius. All these Rocket Lab, ASTS, and SOUN, I kind of got into them at the same time. And if I'd have just hung on and done nothing, this is the thing. If you want to know where to get in, I don't give one scrap of financial advice on here. Let me just make that abundantly clear as it is in the description. But what I have historically been quite good at, is entry. So, where am I a buyer of SOUN? I just feel like NASDAQ, S&P, the Dow, as those start to take a hit, these little guys further up the risk curve are going to take a real beating. And when that does happen, it's at least going to get back to the bottom of this parallel channel, and that's where I would be a buyer. TWLO. No, I am not in this one yet. I have an open order to buy at 95, and I believe I'll get a technical bounce there. And then I'll play that bounce up to about where it is now, and then I would expect further downside into this range here. And like I said, as the market at large starts to take more of a beating, I would expect this to suffer quite a bit as well. This is with a team, with Atlassian. It's another one of these software companies that I believe will survive this AI-driven SaaSpocalypse because of what it does. Block. I talked about this in a YouTube short. Oh, it says block on the title slide. Yeah, it's really easy to find. Go look at my shorts. I think I have a limit that I can link 5 videos. If I can link it, it'll be up there right now. If I can't, it's really easy to find. XYZ. This is one I've kind of been in and out of because as you can see, it's trading in one of these real, beginner to intermediate trader friendly parallel channels and been just kind of chopping around in a range. And it's done real predictable stuff, like come down here, bounced up, gone filled this gap, chopped around for a while. But see here, they got you because this looks a lot like a bull flag. And then it was negated, it actually gapped down, but then it went up and filled that gap, and now it's heading down again. And I think my personal thoughts are that it's heading down there to $17. No matter who you watch on YouTube who goes over stocks, if they're a real person, they'll have little predilections and preferences for certain stocks. And these that you see not so much PayPal and Team, because those basically only popped up on my radar because they were getting beaten down just viciously. But these other ones I do like. Last one, SPIR Global. What they do, defense. Well, I like this one even more. Let's have a look here, shall we? Look at this massive gap fill up here at 96.24. I'm gonna read up, check out their financials. I'm gonna do my little due diligence. But oh boy, if this thing pops, oh doggy. You know, worst case scenario. I mean, not worst case, obviously, but if it goes down to the bottom here, you have 62% decrease. But man, if this thing makes it up to, I mean, come on. If you're a gambler, I'll put a little chunk of change on this one. Especially if I take a look at the financials and find out this thing's not going tits up. Whew. With that said, y'all, hit that like, please, if you enjoyed the video, if you got any sort of value whatsoever. And here's another video I think you might like, and I will catch you on the next one.